Rock climbing, a contest between man and gravity in a world of vertical rock. Scaling sheer walls and pinnacles, man mimics the spider in defiance of natural law, only to plunge back to earth for an adrenaline-pumping freefall. In this place of dizzying heights and sheer drops, man becomes a minuscule player on a vast field of stone. In a daring ascent of El Capitan, a bold group of climbers pushes the limits of climbing, reveling in dramatic exposure thousands of feet from the ground in a realm of rock where they embrace risk with a rare and casual ease. Join us for a rock climbing journey on Expedition Earth. I'm Peter Benchley, host of Expedition Earth, a series that focuses on adventure, wildlife, and the environment.
This isn't just a movie. This is my life. Climbing isn't for everybody, but it's what I live for.
Do you have any more 5/8 down there?
El Capitan is the captain of Yosemite Valley and the mecca of big wall climbers. The Titan is a dangerous sandstone tower in the Utah desert. El Capitan and the Titan are two big goals for 4 top climbers who will join forces on a road trip of rock climbing adventure from Colorado to California. Tiffany Levin is 27 years old. In a sport with many specialties, Tiffany is best known as a competitive sport climber, focusing on short but extremely difficult climbs where the protection bolts are frequent, but so are the falls. In contrast, big wall climbing is long and methodical. Xaver Bongard, age 29 and also known as Toto, is a professional mountain guide from Switzerland and Europe's foremost big wall specialist. The first stop will be the Titan, a pinnacle of crumbling sandstone in a desert formation called Fisher Towers. These climbers are all genuine adrenaline addicts, especially Will Ox. Besides being an advanced big wall climber, Will is a skilled skydiver, expert base jumper, and U.S. Navy jet fighter pilot. Refusing to be pigeonholed, Charlie Fowler, 39 years old, has the most wide-ranging skills of all. He's equally at home climbing a frozen waterfall, a Himalayan peak, or a Yosemite wall. Charlie, perhaps more than anyone else, has dedicated his life to the mountains and to climbing.
I'm a mountain guide, and my work has me frequently traveling around the world. Compared to most people, I lead a pretty simple life, and I have very few possessions, but I like it that way. I like the freedom of having everything I need in the backseat of my car, and my goal is right down the road. I'm driving from Telluride to pick up another climber, Tiffany Levin, who lives and trains at Rifle Canyon, a popular sport climbing area.
Sacrificing any material things or an apartment or hot showers every day is pretty easy when you can just wake up underneath the cliff and climb for breakfast. I've only been climbing for about 2 years, but in those 2 years, by staying super focused and motivated and never allowing myself to be lazy during a climbing day, I've been able to excel pretty quickly and kind of catch up. I just try to push through any kind of tiredness or laziness or distractions and push myself, even if I don't feel like it. I just want to take it to my complete limit.
Oh, just a sec. What? You made me fall. Oh, to the ground. Down.
Our plan is to drive out to Yosemite and climb the Shield route on El Capitan, probably one of the most spectacular climbs in America. Our goal is to do it without hammering pitons into the rock, something that has never been done, and it's definitely going to be hard. Another member of our team, Will Ox, joins us outside of Moab, Utah at a remote place called Fisher Towers. We came to make an ascent of the Titan, one of the biggest towers in the American Southwest. It would be a real good warm-up for the Shield in Yosemite. It was good to have Will along. He's a great aid climber, and his expertise would certainly be important for the climbing that lay ahead. Our approach to the Titan took us through some beautiful desert country.
So are we going to be able to finish this climb in a day?
Well, I don't know. If we hustle, maybe, but most likely we're going to have to bivouac, maybe on top of the 5th pitch.
Overnight.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Actually, it should be great up there. Maybe even on the summit. We planned on climbing the vertical right-hand skyline. The 900-foot-high Sun Devil chimney route had been done before, but not with the base jump descent as Will intended. First, though, we had to get to the top. All right, that sounds pretty good. Hear that, Tiff? That's the sound of a good piton there. It goes ding, 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 ding. That's like, yeah.
Bomber.
Bomber. That's my favorite word in aid climbing.
Aid climbing on the Titan is going to be the perfect preparation for the Shield, the big wall that lies in the end of this road trip. Getting back into the rhythm of going through the motions and the repetitive moves is just what I need to kind of clean off the cobwebs. This is exactly the thing I need to get ready for the end of the road trip, climbing the big stone.
All right, I'm there.
All right, good deal, good job.
Okay, I'm off, belay.
Okay, belay's off and you're out of rope.
Right.
Killer. Once you get up about 20 feet, tie a figure 8, clip it in here. So that'll safeguard you in case the system here fails.
Gotcha.
You'll always be on the rope there.
Okay.
Cool. Think you're ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Umars are rope clamps that allow Tiff to scale a rope Will has fixed, as if she were climbing a spider's web. Yeah, there you go. You got it now. Tiff has never done a big aid climb before, so this will be a great learning experience for her.
I have this horrible image of having to Jumar a lot on the Shield.
Yeah, come on up.
And I'm worried about being slow and not getting the rhythm. because I hate to slow people down.
This next pitch looks pretty cool. Yeah, it'd be hard to hop on that.
Okay, Charlie, you're on belay.
All right, thanks. Yikes. Pretty hollow sounding. Oh, yeah. Titan's a really good warm-up for the Shield because it's a little bit smaller scale, but the climbing is quite varied. Yeah, watch me on this, Will. It's a little bit crumbly up here. Yeah, it seems okay. I'm gonna use it. The aid climbing on this soft rock in many ways is a lot more challenging than aid climbing in Yosemite on the firm granite that you get there.
Hello, Will. Hello, Charlie. Hey, Xavier. Here's a rope. Come on up.
Xavier Bongard had flown in from Switzerland. His timing was perfect. One more pitch up, and it would have been difficult for him to catch up with us.
Salut, Xavier. How was your flight?
Pretty good. I couldn't jump for the airplane, but pretty good. Wow, this is really loose up here.
Yeah, I loved it.
You love that?
Oh,
You like to come up?
You didn't bring your ice tools, did you?
You want a few pieces, Charlie?
A few souvenirs? Crampons on that stuff would probably work real well.
Well, I think I'm just going to grab the whole thing, you know?
Careful.
One more backup first. You don't care if the rock is not so good. It is a big adventure.
All right, Xavier, nice move.
I'm not afraid from the heights. I mean, I base jump, I skydive, and air is fun. And here I have the rope. I know it's totally safe, but for sure I get every time a little bit scared. Watch me.
Yeah, got you good. The fourth pitch was the wildest, stemming up the mud chimney. Since Tiff was the gymnast of the team, she drew the short straw for that one. The mud-caked sandstone of the Titan makes for pretty challenging climbing, even for the best climbers.
I just don't think this gear will hold. Kind of waste time trying to put it in.
I like to change the area I'm in and the type of climbing and the type of adventure because I realize that for intensive training, you need to have different mental attitudes. That's why I go from safe, bolted sport climbing routes at Rifle or competitions. I mix that up with an adventure and get new ideas.
Late in the day when we reached the summit, so we decided to bivouac on a ledge where Will planned his base jump for the morning.
Rock! 1,000, 2,
On a jump this short, I've only got time to get one parachute out. There can be no room for error.
All right, it looks good. Around 700 feet.
I've been watching the winds, and a window opens up every morning just as the sun rises.
Hopefully it will be good tomorrow morning.
I have to be ready to go right when the conditions are right. Did you guys sleep well?
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be a bad hair there.
But anyway, I'm gonna get all my stuff out of this bag here and head on down to the ledge.
As Will prepares for his base jump, the rest of us got ready for a long series of rappels to the ground.
I'll be falling for 4 seconds, falling pretty much around 250 feet. I figured it'll take 150 to 200 feet for my parachute to fully deploy. That only leaves me 3 seconds to deal with any malfunction or any emergency that could arise before I hit the ground below.
Falling at over 100 miles per hour, Will pulled his chute 3 seconds before hitting the ground.
Yes! All right! All right! All right! Woo! Good landing.
With the Titan behind us, it was time to start thinking about our main goal, the big stone, El Capitan. Climbing the shield without hammering pitons would require some special gear that didn't exist, so we made a stop in Salt Lake City at Black Diamond's climbing equipment factory. Now that we're in the machine shop, we feel much better about our goal of a clean ascent of the shield, because we're creating tools we've been envisioning for a while. We feel really good because we're going to Yosemite with the right tools for the big job.
This one and this one I want to experiment.
We were making our tools, and all our thoughts were on Yosemite. All of us, that is, except Tiff. I wondered if she had the temperament to get up a big wall.
While the rest of the team modified their climbing equipment, Tiffany drove to the nearby Snowbird ski area, location of one of the highest artificial climbing walls in the world. Before she was introduced to climbing, Tiffany was a gymnast, and that background aided her meteor-like rise in sport climbing. In a little more than 2 years, she has gone from beginner to placing high in world-class climbing competitions held on artificial walls such as this one at Dick Bass's Cliff Lodge at Snowbird. It was Oktoberfest, and spectators gathered to watch Tiffany as she challenged the wall. Competitive climbing is catching on very fast, and it's already drawing big audiences in Europe. Like any sport, the top performers have to practice and train daily.
In order for me to have fun at climbing, I have to be the best climber I can be. I have to climb consistently and work on my weaknesses in climbing and also practice my strengths every day.
Their equipment ready, the climbers continue their road trip to Yosemite, camping along the way.
Seems like a majority of them, though, that started in the last couple of years have predominantly just got picked up in the sport climbing arena.
It's easy.
Everybody's talking about sport climbing. For me, it is just climbing, you know?
Yeah, it's just climbing.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't think that there's as much there's very much carryover at all in terms of the value of sport climbing in a gym and then taking that to the mountains.
Well, there's carryover in anything you do if it builds your confidence, and if you feel...
Oh, there is some, I agree, but what I'm saying is there's not...
Maybe not for you, but
there's nothing wrong with either sport because everybody has their own different needs, and there's just so many different dimensions to the sport.
I don't even combine those two things. I don't think about the mountains when I'm in a gym. That's why it's good to mix it up.
At least some kind of strengths,
Just
not
depends
others.
on what your personal needs are.
Being strong is great, and it's helpful in the mountains, but there's so many more things that the mountaineering requires that sport climbing doesn't teach you.
It's like you run into your psychological edge quicker in the backcountry, and you run into your physical edge quicker sport climbing. I guess
The
it's
whole
just,
thing is a challenge. I just
That's-
want to push
yeah.
each aspect of it as far as I can.
That's the cool thing about climbing, that it's like no matter how much experience or how good you get at it, there's so much more that you need to
Right.
do, so that everybody's always kind of a beginner somehow. Because
You can
the
keep
mounds
pushing and
the
pushing.
mounds are so much bigger than you are that it doesn't matter how good you get or anything, because you're just so tiny compared to what's out there.
that's a fact.
It was another day of driving before we finally got to the Sierras. Tiff took the wheel because she had to be doing something, anything. I've never seen anybody like her. If she didn't get totally pumped every day, she started to go bananas. This was the end of the road, and a first-hand view of our project, the Shield on El Capitan.
Yosemite National Park is a major attraction that draws millions of people every year. But there's a price for popularity. The park struggles to cope with the daily hordes of visitors that create traffic jams and pollution and make wildlife unnaturally docile. Rock climbers and their families have flocked to the valley for decades. They gather at Camp 4, what the climbers call the Nylon Ghetto. Sentinel Rock is where Yosemite climber Derek Hersey died last summer. A pioneering solo climber, he was renowned for climbing hard routes without a rope. His intense concentration, unruffled even when he was struck by a pigeon, was legendary. Derek set a standard for climbing that few have ever achieved. His death has been both a great tragedy to all who knew him and a loss to the climbing community. Today, Peter Croft is one of the few climbers to emulate Derek's style. Free soloing demands an honest approach from an experienced climber, as no mistakes are allowed. As the other climbers watched from below, Peter displayed his talents on a free solo climb of Middle Cathedral Rock, across from El Capitan.
Probably the main reason for free soloing is the freedom of movement. One of the best things about soloing is that there's no interruptions. You don't have the rope interrupting you. In other words, you don't have to check your knots or see how the belay is working out or play with gear or anything. So you can focus just on one thing, and that's climbing. The single most important thing about free soloing is being totally honest with yourself, about yourself. Anytime I start to get scared, that usually means that I shouldn't be soloing that day. So usually what happens is I might scare myself a little bit low down. I just realize today's not a good day, so I end up going for a hike instead. I just climb down and go do something else. I think it's really important for any solo climber to be ready to go down no matter how easy the route is, or no matter, maybe you've done it a bunch of times before. If it's not feeling good, to realize that you should go down. Again, you have to constantly sort of be honest with yourself.
Sorting our gear, we prepared for our climb of the Shield.
Up there for so long.
I could use the whole road.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a rack for the free blast out of this stuff.
Bottom third of the route, the free blast, is climbed free. The upper part, the Shield, is mostly strenuous aid climbing, with challenges such as the roof and triple cracks.
My type of climbing relies on my body, on free climbing. I absolutely love hand jams, fist locks, laybacks. I was so excited when I found out that I get to lead all the pitches on the free blast. I love that. Placing gear, body positions, just cruising up a fine crack climb. What I'm worried about is what comes after that. I hear there's lots of aid climbing, and it gets harder and harder.
We had a fifth person join our team, my old friend, photographer Beth Wald, who has along to do a story of our clean ascent for one of the climbing magazines.
That is beautiful.
Like ants, we haul our gear up the steep rock face, following Tiff, who free climbs the pitches above us and fixes ropes for us to ascend with Jumars. We have to haul all our food, water, clothing, and camping gear for the 5 days we'll be on the climb. What we're doing here is vertical backpacking, using pulleys and Jumars to lift hundreds of pounds in a tedious, time-consuming maneuver.
I'll be ready to set. So that you can just fly. Got your chocolate open.
Come here, Miss Piggy. While we haul gear, Tiff gets the pump she wants, doing what she does best, out in front by herself, focused and working her body.
Tiffany was dying for the chance to do a lot of climbing, and she's just climbing the walls, just being cooped up in the car. And in order to make Tiffany happy and stop her from driving us crazy, Charlie, Toto, and we've all decided to just let her lead the whole free blast. It's like we don't care. We've done all the pitches before, but we know it's the only thing that's gonna cure and stop her from driving us all crazy.
People think I'm tunnel visioned and I'm too focused, but that's just because they met me in this phase. I'd kind of like a higher intensity. I like to excel in an area that I know I can excel in.
tree blast, topping out by late afternoon on our bivouac ledge, 1,000 feet above where we started this morning. At this point, we're a third of the way up our route.
I'm at the ledge, Will! I'm tying off!
I left Will and Tiff on the ledge so Xavier and I could climb a few more pitches and return to our bivouac ledge before dark. Now the slow process of aid climbing begins.
What's taking them so long?
Well, you know, these egg pitches are going to take some time, and we're going to spend the whole rest of today just getting up to gray ledges, and then after gray ledges, we got a couple more days after that, so, you know, you might as well just relax. There's going to be a lot of kind of downtime sitting around.
Difficult aid climbing is like defusing a time bomb. It could go off in your face at any moment. That's why having the right tools makes the job a lot easier, and mentally it allows me to be a lot more relaxed and confident in what I'm doing.
You hear that, Charlie?
No. What?
It's like history. Something going on down there. Yeah?
Come on down. There's something that we need to discuss. It's pretty important.
What?
I'm in the middle of a pitch.
Hey! Whoa!
Just come on down. We need to all be here to talk about this.
Well, I'm almost finished this pitch. I got like 2 more moves and I'm at the belay.
What's going on here?
Hey, you guys. Sorry you had to come down, but sit down. There's something we got to talk about.
You know, I've been watching you guys all morning and seeing how long it takes. And I really don't think it makes sense for me to continue from here.
I think, yeah, I guess that's your decision to make, but it's a whole different game than free climbing, no doubt about it.
So I think it's best if I just wrap down from here and start all the free climbs that I've been thinking about doing.
Bye-bye.
I'm out of here.
Hammering pitons, like this climber is demonstrating, is what we hope to avoid, because pitons severely scar the rock. Xavier places gear without a hammer, a style we call clean climbing.
Old piece, it takes for one pitch usually. If it's an easy pitch, it takes you 2 hours, and if it's a really difficult pitch, it can take you 5 hours. And in these 5 hours, you're always under tension because you're always exposed to a big fall if it's a hard pitch. Okay, watch me. Yeah, it's not strenuous for your body, but it burns on your mind. Everybody has his part of the responsibility, but the consequences, if somebody drops something or is doing a big mistake, we have to share. Everybody has to share his part of it.
Now it's Will's turn to lead. He carries slings loaded with the gear we modified at Black Diamond, plus a huge assortment of conventional hardware and anchors. All this gear can weigh 30 to 40 pounds.
It looks like a lot of fun. That's about it.
Use all your toys, though.
Yeah. All right, you guys ready for this?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, we're out of here. Good, I got you on the leg. This roof pitch is a blast. It looks so imposing from the ground, but it's a piece of cake because it's all fixed. God, this is serious air. Yeah. Exposure's just fantastic. I'm just kind of clipping through on my way, really enjoying the view. I've never been afraid of heights. I have this belief that people who are afraid of heights were probably scolded by their mothers for climbing up a tall tree. They were doing fine until their mom came out there, but right then they were instilled with the fear of heights. I guess I'm kind of lucky. My mom never caught me climbing up that tall tree. Yeah, this is great.
Working his way past the roof, Will dangles over 2,000 feet of air. He is dwarfed by the vast expanse of rock we are climbing. Our team becomes a mere speck against El Capitan's enormous bulk.
Bye-bye, Miss Piggy.
Bye-bye.
To clear the overhanging roof, Miss Piggy, our gear bag, cuts loose, swinging out over space so we can haul her up the next pitch.
Ready, guys?
It's Xavier's turn next.
Ready, set, go!
Hauling our gear beyond the roof, we're now totally committed. Beth, who had never done a big wall before, adapts quickly.
You can start jumping very slow.
I have to be really, really aware of each thing that I'm doing. For me, nothing up here is routine. It's like I'm thinking about it all the time. I'm always aware of it. You know, I know I can do it, but it's gonna take a lot of mental effort. And with these guys, I know it takes effort, but they're so comfortable and they know what to do. They know the system. I'm trying to envision how this is all going to come together. We're going to create this little camping site up here on this wall. As it develops, the portal edges come out and they just blow around in the wind, and they're just like this mass of color and banging poles and chaos. And then, with a little bit of force and effort, they turn into this platform, this like little home that we can stay on.
All right. One deluxe queen-size bed.
Okay,
how about some tunes?
All right.
Yeah, let's heat up the jam box.
Let's see what we got here.
Got mine? Or you want to try to follow that thing up? I bet you I could lift it.
No way.
Yeah, wait, man. People wait.
What also had it?
Watching the sunset from a big wall is a fantastic sight. You're hanging from a nylon ledge and looking out over this incredible expanse. There's nothing between you and the ground. There's this feeling of euphoria. From here, overcrowded Yosemite looks like a wilderness. This is definitely the best view in the valley. Waking up on a big wall, the day starts out like any other. You drink your coffee, you eat your breakfast, you brush your teeth, and then you go to work. The Triple Cracks pitch is one of the steepest and thinnest of the climb. I knew that if I could climb this pitch hammerless, then the whole route could be climbed clean too. Because of the steepness and blankness of the rock, even a long fall would be safe, so we can afford to stick our necks out. For sure, it's a bold ascent.
Yikes.
In order to get a more interesting angle on us, Beth uses a specially designed pair of stilts that enable her to push out from the wall and look in on what we're doing.
Pieces for you too. They just sort of fell out.
After a few more pitches, Will leads us to the summit.
Climbing a big wall is a major achievement. I mean, it stays with you. You could have totally suffered and epicked and, you know, you hate your buddy when you're on the climb, but years later, it's just like, it somehow takes a different light, and you learn to measure time by the walls that you've done.
All right, there's the top. All right, you guys, we only got about 50 feet to go.
One of the things I like most about climbing is that you have to invent it for yourself. This climb was like that. We were psyched. We achieved our goal, a totally clean ascent of the shield.
Don't fall off!
That was a lot of fun. All right, let's get out of here.
Our bold ascent pushed the limits of clean aid climbing and set a good example for others to follow. Well, folks, I think Miss Piggy's got one more surprise for us.
Yeah?
What's that?
Woo!
I can't believe I made it.
Yeah, one for Miss Piggy.
Hey guys, cute look wild.
Most climbers share a desire to preserve the adventure and the experience. Maybe we've added just a little to that effort. As the poet John Muir said, climb the mountains and get their good tidings. Nature's peace will flow into you as sunshine flows into trees. The winds will blow their own freshness into you, and the storms their energy, while cares will drop off like autumn leaves.